we go. Hello everyone, welcome to Hospitality Digital Marketing, the live coverage of HSMAI's Digital Marketing Conference. Mr. Robert, you come join. Come join me. Sit. We have Marion with us. We're going to talk revenue management. Here, we'll just make you spin around a little bit, Marion.
Excellent.
Hello, Robert.
We're crossing the streams of digital marketing.
Yes, I'm dying to talk to her because
I understood those two disciplines should never be together.
Yeah,
and
don't
should always be
streams.
isolated into separate silos. No? That's not correct.
No. Okay.
Oh, please, set us straight.
First off, question. Do you know Robert? Robert Marion?
Yes, I do.
Unfortunately, yeah, she's like, can Robert please leave now?
Not at all. I'm honored
We say
to
that all the
be...
time about Robert anyway.
No, I'm honored to be sitting here.
No. Mary, please, I'm sorry. Please introduce yourself as to whom you are so that
Yes.
we're dying to get to the revenue management conversation. Please, Marion, who are you?
Thank you. Marion Roger. I'm General Manager for North America with Dayuse.com. We're a French company that's gone global, in part due to the fact that last year we raised $17 million in a Series A funding. And we won Focusrite in November. People's Choice Award as Best New Startup in the reservation spot.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, we were very happy that our industry peers voted us as People's Choice. And Bill Carroll, there were a lot of people on the...
And Lauren's not going to say that he raised $25 million for a seed round for LaurenGray.com.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's Marion's show.
Can I borrow?
70 million above. Yes.
No, 17 million was nice. But I think part of what we've been doing this for 6 years, and part of what really helped us tell our story, is that the venture capitalists, were pushed by Charles Petruccelli, former CEO of American Express Worldwide, and Paul DeBrule from Quebec-Bourg. Both of them were our angel investors, and they brought the VCs to the table and said, you need to look at this company. And why? Well, in 2015, we had about 2,000 hotel partners. We did $11 million in daytime reservations. In 2016, we closed out with 3,000 partners, and we did $20 million in consumed day-stay reservations for our portfolio.
That's quite
And that doesn't really interfere with your, well, I shouldn't say depending on the fact that with the ADR, but your regular core hotel business of overnight nightly use.
A lot of our properties are highly occupied, and they love it because they might have, we work on a room block. We don't work on free sale, last room availability. We work on a block, a negotiated rate. And they might have a couple of rooms that were empty the night before because of a no-show, and they collected the revenue. And so they're empty and clean, and someone can come in from 8 a.m. on the red eye from the West Coast before heading on to London or Dubai tonight and pay $150, $200 for the day, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., 9 a.m. to 3, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're taking in a lot of money.
Remember our conversation? It seems like just yesterday, but it was a year ago, literally a year ago. They were talking about that, and I thought, how phenomenal of an idea is that? To be able to do that and create that parting out and make a better year of the building. We go back to have a revenue management question. You're talking about square footages and so forth. I'm just going to let you roll with that because you just bounce around things. I'm sitting there going, yes, I'm going to talk about all those things. So pick anything out of the hat that you would like to start with.
Well, I recently published for the Digital Marketing Yearbook, HSMAI did with ESSEC, the Hotel Yearbook 2017 on digital marketing. I submitted a piece called Back to the Future, Marty McFly. And I specifically speak of the fact that Conrad Hilton in 1990, when he bought his first inn, the Mobley in Cisco, Texas, turned those rooms over 3 times a day. Okay, so what's old is new again. The thing that really triggered me was Cheryl Kimes from Cornell doing a study in 2010, and she's reopened the research last fall, specifically where we're talking about what revenue management is for hoteliers in the future. And the future was that other parts of the hotel will be subject to the same principles and technologies of RM. So, for example, when you have a meeting room, you have a latent asset that can be, some KPIs can be revenue per available square foot, RASPF, and that the restaurants can determine the seat hour, which ones have more generated revenue. So you get revenue per available seat hour, RASH. So why couldn't the hotel take the same application and say a time segment from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. is a segment of the day, and the revenue generated for that segment is a separate dollar amount that's added into the pool, and it's not subject to the takeaways that the overnight revenue is. So you're not offsetting your staff, you're not offsetting your infrastructure, your utilities, your taxes, your mortgage interests, all of the different things that on a sale of a $250 room, hotel might get to keep $35 when all is said and done. So this $150 that they come in from the day is not subject to all those takeaways because the night room is where the money went. So that's why
you've got a variable cost, take it out, and the rest drops to the bottom line, pretty much.
So it's top line revenue for the bottom line, and that's really been our marketing position. And we're now going global. We've opened offices this week in Hong Kong. We have our first hotels in Australia. We have Dubai.
Where in Australia did you start? Sydney.
Yeah. Sydney.
Now, are you guys just doing the day use, or are you also going out and doing things for restaurants as well?
We're strictly in the daytime segment at the moment. We have more demand than we have supply. So for North America, my goal has been to grow. I mean, we have 3,000 partners, and we have about 80 or 90 in North America. We only had 45 when we started in our new offices in New York in September. We only had 45, 50 partners. We're almost double that in 4 months. And we just signed a couple of big groups, and we're literally doing 3 or 4 onboardings per day per rep from the New York office.
That's great.
What is the onboarding process like? What kind of commitment level do some of the properties have to face when they come to you?
It's very simple. What we do is we take a block. So the property has 300 to 400 rooms. It has 200 rooms. It has 85 rooms. It doesn't matter. We're looking for 1 or 2 rooms, maybe 3 or 4. So the Hilton at LA Airport, they've got 1,300 rooms. We're getting 10 rooms. This is a perfect example. We're getting 10 rooms on a block on a negotiated, pre-agreed rate that is not marked up. It is $99 for that day from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay? That room is just in a block on a pre-negotiated rate. So there isn't much for them to do. It's just sit down and explain to us what time they'd love to start seeing the guests check in and what time they want them out by, and we determine the segment with them.
Okay.
And you aren't doing a lot of heavy lifting
no
in terms
yielding.
of integration of, well, we're on version of what of this, which is great.
There's
so
we're technology light.
Yep. You can just do it. Say, here's your block. Go sell them and see.
And what we've actually done is we are the game changer. We pioneered connectivity through Disco on one-way message delivery, so that the guest information can be dumped right into their system without having to work with a channel manager, without having to work with integration and various APIs. We're strictly just going through Disco on a one-way push.
Just a blind sell.
Okay.
Boom. Done, right? That's great.
So right now they receive it by email. Marion Roger is coming in from 10 to 4 for $99 on February 24th.
Yeah.
Marion shows up at the hotel, uses a credit card against incidentals, pays the room, has the room, leaves the room, housekeeping does the room, the night guest checks in.
Yeah. Now, from a scalability, I mean, other than planning on taking over the entire world, do you see any variances to what you're currently doing as core? Like, do you see yourself moving into, as you say, a seat into a restaurant or a table in a spa or things like that? Do you see yourselves going in that way as well?
We do. We have a lot of hotels who specifically are on the platform now because of their spa, and they have a lot of guests who would like to have a room for the day, and they haven't really been able to figure out how to do that.
Yep.
Want to grab something?
Hotels try to handle it by doing it like a beach club or something where they allow access to the facilities of the hotel, and it always backfires on them because people tend to use it as an excuse to then exploit the hotel. But this seems like a much safer solution.
They're paying. I mean, the Plaza Athénée in New York City is perfect. They've got one of the top spas, and they're 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at $250 for dayuse.com. Now we're going to be adding the opportunity to incorporate a day spa pass with the room for another X dollars. The Out NYC.
Unfortunately, it's $575, but that's okay.
It's a perfect gift. If I was going, we look at the Out in New York City. When you are a guest at the Out NYC, you have complete access to the spa at no cost, and they have a great spa there. And they also have packages where you can get a massage, different types of massage for $150. So you book the room for $95 or $99. And then if you want, you can click and add the massage in or the spa day or the meal. We have the Bermondsey in London who does, and we're rolling it out, gastronomy day deal, where you have the room plus a meal for 2 to prefix at the restaurant.
That's neat. That's neat, yeah. No, I'm saying from a positive point of view, it's like this. I've had properties where the resort where we wanted to expand the spa stuff, and people didn't want to come to the spa and then waddle across the lobby to the restaurant in a
Their
towel.
bathroom,
And,
exactly.
So the room option was always hard to figure, and you've solved it, literally. By saying, look, get a room and then have this connectivity where you're doing the day for the room without having to have the entire evening experience.
So what do you find in terms of last minute sort of use? People just kind of popping in versus people who wind up booking a day or two. They know they're going into London. They go, hey, you know what? I'm going to go try it. Let's grab this for.
Well, first of all, speaking of London was a perfect way to ask the question because it depends on the destination. Our lead time for Miami is 3 months.
Wow.
because people book their cruise from overseas. They know their flight back out of Miami airport's at 9 o'clock at night, but they know the boat's going to dump them into port at 6 or 7 a.m. And where are they going to go for the day with all their suitcases and their shopping? So, you know, New York is a different lead time. London is a different lead time. It depends on the source of the guest. In New York, for example, in our metropolitan markets, we see the road warriors who are coming in on a red eye with a continuing flight overseas. It's a last minute trip. For whatever reason, they're a shorter lead-in. We have people that work from home that are coming into the city for meetings, and the meeting canceled or got rescheduled, and they just are sick of sitting in a Starbucks, and they just want to go have a place they can do a conference call in quiet, maybe take a nap. They're sleep deprived. You know, we have a lot of use cases that it depends on the marketplace, but in Manhattan we see families coming in with kids for the matinee of The Lion King, want to have a nap before they take them to the theater. We have adults.
That's a smart one. London, fly in early morning arrival, going to the West End at night. That's a really good one.
Right. And we have, I mean, I could elaborate a variety of use cases, but I really want to focus on the fact that we are now in an era where people want to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, and they want to pay whatever it takes to do it. And so hoteliers are really sort of missing out. Savvy hoteliers are seeing this is where the revenue comes.
So who winds up doing the marketing? Is this your responsibility? You have the block of rooms and you guys just do it?
That's what we do. It's all ours. And we have a very sophisticated ad campaign. We have some extraordinary marketing staff and communication staff out of Paris that originally worked with London, some of the biggest ad agencies, L'Oreal, etc. And we have a very sophisticated, consumer-driven, you know.
Well, you must have some really interesting analytics to figure out who these people are and what's being successful and what converts and target similar look-alike, you know, who start behaving this way.
Well, you know, in all transparency, this is HSMAI, and having that information would be really useful. But all of that would assume that we would have all their data. They don't have to give a credit card to book this room. They very specifically are not guaranteeing a day rate against a no-show, because the hotel doesn't lose out if they don't show up. So we have the email and the phone number of the guest who books. You should experience it yourself. And, you know, we only know what we know anecdotally by the people that email us, customer service. My mother's in a wheelchair, I have a baby, can I get a crib? My flight's been delayed, do you think they're going to still let me get in the room at 9 a.m.? I was supposed to be there at 7. Call the call center and say, I'm a single parent with my kids and I'm flying overseas and our international flight got delayed. I want to stay at the airport. Can my children go to the room without me? You know, we find out about our guests that way, and that's really limited.
But neat in the sense of profiling capabilities as well, being able to go over and take those things and seeing the patterns of purchase and seeing the destinations of patterns of purchase and so forth. You can create a lot of demographic.
We have a demographic and a psychographic in the sense that we know our users are pretty much split male and female. We know that they're in the between approximately 25 and 55 because we have guests that can't book because they're underage. You know, somebody might, you know, not be able to. We also know based on their access of the site, a lot of them are doing it on their phone, mobile. Our feeder market, we have a huge multi-million pound campaign in London and multi-million euros on the continent, and we have an enormous amount of traffic from Europe looking at America, and they're familiar with the product and they're coming over here to the States for whatever reason, and they're looking. So, you know, we know our feeder, our sources. We also know they're early adopters. There are people that use sites like Breather or Bisley. There are sites there are people that use Uber and Lyft. I mean, psychographically, they're used to, I want what I want when I want it.
I want the car here when I walk out the door. I want this when I get there. I want pre-order.
That's really interesting because you think about it where, the use cases are very specific by market. So if somebody's flying to Australia on the midnight flight out of LAX, that's not necessarily a great combination for you because maybe you're going to want the room longer.
We have that.
But you have other situations where maybe you can.
We have, the time segment isn't set by us. What we do is we suggest to the hotelier, we say we have a huge demand for what's called the early in, which is 7 a.m. So like Marriott, Newark Airport has a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Okay. Then we have a huge demand for what's called the late break. So we have hotels that offer from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. because they know they have an airline crew that's coming in at 5 a.m. the next morning, and that room's got to sit there empty.
Yep.
Oh,
That makes perfect sense.
So
That makes-
we have the 3 segments, the one everybody does the most of, which is say 10 to 4 or 9 to 5.
Yeah, that's
And we
great.
have the early ends and we have the late breaks.
That's great. Yeah, so you get the Hawaii crews who are coming out of the Hawaii arrivals, and you get this, and you say, hey, get the Australia guys out. And yeah, that's
I
great.
had the same smile on my face I had when I last talked to you. It's like, the more I talk with you, and I begin to think about it, it's like, God, what common sense is this? It's like, look, like you just said the airline crews, and I'm smiling. It's like, yeah, I know exactly when those rooms are being used. I know exactly the time slots that they're being used.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there, and yes, I got paid for that room at a very low negotiated rate.
But in comes this revenue to
right.
bump
And here
it
I got
up.
this inventory that I can use for, because, I mean, going back to my old GM days, it's like, whenever I could release my flight crew rooms for general use, I'm thinking payday because I got double use out of it. You know? It's like I got paid and I got paid.
And that's all we are really.
Well, and that's
technically.
really property level information that really the brands and upstream,
Yeah.
the national sales up. Nobody knows about this stuff,
No.
but it's
Right.
really locked in at that property, and probably not structurally built into any rules or algorithms or direct marketing.
No, this is all
strategies.
stuff that you
Nothing.
can use
This
in
is
it. And like
greenfield.
you said, it's top line revenue for bottom line production.
It's interesting because you actually have to have some really come to Jesus moments with these people, because they sit there and they're like, what? Like, well, that's going to bring my ADR down because it's going to view it as a nice sale. And you're like, no. But, you know, it's interesting. And I have found that the easiest thing that I can say is when you've got a good enough why, you figure out the how.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Makes perfect sense to it. So, other than dying to have you on the show sometime, again,
Pleasure.
open
Thank
invitation
you.
again.
Thank
but,
you very
but,
much.
but to have you come on, we do this every Friday, a live show, which we can spend more time elaborating. I'd love more specific examples and allow people to go over and engage and ask
delighted.
questions and so forth.
But we're much more rude and disrespectful on Fridays.
You're more
Because-
rude and disrespectful on Fridays.
Well, I would say because Ed and Tim aren't here.
Yeah,
they're
that's
the
true
ones who
too.
really
Yeah, there
punch
was a
up.
rude out. But no, we'd love to have you onto the show for it. For those who maybe this is the first time they're hearing about this, but
Yes.
obviously, what's the best way to reach out to you directly, or to reach out to the
Okay.
website? How would you like them to
Okay.
contact you?
Well, first I'd like them to take a look at dayuse.com, specifically look at London.
Okay.
Okay, London and Paris, because you get an idea of what it's going to look like in North American markets,
Okay.
because this is how we're doing it, and we're now going to be doing it over here. So, first thing I always say is when you want to get to know dayuse.com, go yourself and check out a date a couple of weeks out in London, and then do the same thing for Paris, just to see what's out there. All right, that's the first thing. My email, Marion, M-A-R-I-O-N, at dayuse.com. Or you can just, do contact us, contact.us@dayuse.com. But really email me, because I'm general manager and I'm probably the one that's going to
Answer the better questions anyway. Now, is there
Yeah.
target cities that you're first looking at for
Yes.
the U.S. integration? I mean, you're looking at the
Yes.
Miamis, the New Yorks,
Yes.
the Los Angeleses,
Yes.
Major
international.
gateway.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just added a few properties in Miami. We just added the Hyatt Regency Coral Gables, brand new property in Miami. We did the Sofitel Chicago Miracle Mile, went on live this week. We've got about 5 or 6 now in Chicago. We've got several properties in Miami. We're adding. We just the Hilton Torrey Pines La Jolla just joined yesterday.
There's some clients I have in Miami that are brand.
And I would love to.
I think we should talk about. Yes.
Look, the bottom line is we have more demand than we have supply. We have a call center that's from 9 to 6 every day, Monday to Friday. We take calls on a regular basis, people asking, do you have a hotel in Washington? Do you have a hotel in Chicago? And we don't yet, because we were focused primarily on getting over here, getting the right people in place. We just hired brand new strategic accounts director, Teresa McLarney. She's formerly with Orbitz and World Choice Travel, hotel beds. I actually had the pleasure of working with her a long time ago at World Choice Travel in Florida when we were part of the Travelocity family. And we have a young man who's our customer success manager, Arno. We have a couple of other hires that are business development directors that go out, do the door-to-door one-to-ones. And Teresa and I are working with the big groups and the chains and the independents and the REITs. And
That's great.
so we'd love to have a chance to chat with you.
That would be yes. That would be on a different conversation.
Yes,
but
we
yeah,
did. That
absolutely
didn't
for it.
happen.
Nothing. No, pay no attention. No. Thank you so very much.
No, it's a
I'm so
pleasure.
glad
Thank
you
you.
found me again, and that we were doing this, that we could jump on this, because again, I'm smiling again from the same conversations we had before. It's like, man, you think about this and how many places you can put it into, it just is mind blowing.
I looked at the Smith Travel Report results, and it was interesting to see. I mean, New York City, followed by San Francisco, both got the highest occupancy and ADR. Miami really took a hit in the last year. They're a market that's seen a pretty significant year-on-year decrease in both their occupancy and ADR, in part due to the Zika virus, in part due to other issues, the change of the dollar. But I think we're about to head into a slower season. This is just free money that's out there, and you have an asset that's just sitting dormant that you can get
Perishable
revenue
too.
in, and it's
Yes,
perishable.
absolutely.
And so, but the same whether you're in a market that's really doing well, like New York or Chicago or San Francisco or LA, or a market that's suffering, the bottom line is money's money, and if you can get more of it, your boss is going to you're going to get to
happy.
keep your job.
Yeah, I was
so
gonna say, it makes it
what
very
part
secure.
of that don't you get? The savvy hoteliers get it.
No, completely understand for that.
No,
Any other questions you had?
No, that's fan.
Thanks for jumping in. I'm glad you were
It's perfect. It's good timing.
Because Well, anyway, thank you so much for everyone that went over and watched us live, and for those that are watching the recording you know how to get in contact. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us as well. And with that, we're going to end this live coverage for right now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.